Welcome back to MMA Al Dente. I am the guy who picked Benji Raddick to defeat Danny LaFever. And I'm here to talk about Kevin Holland taking on Michal Oleksiejczuk. This fight is going to be awesome. Kevin Holland versus Michal Oleksiejczuk. Regardless of how it goes down, I think this is going to be really fun. My official prediction for this fight is Kevin Holland wins via submission. We'll call it a Darce choke in round two, I guess. But I do think he's got a distinct advantage there, and it is my pick, and I have bet on it. But my favorite bet on this fight is on Michal Oleksiejczuk winning by decision, because that's sitting at plus 800. And even though I'm not picking him to win, it is what I consider his primary path to victory, plus 800. So definitely warrants some bets from me, and I've bet on it. But I'm aware of his record. I'm aware if you look at his record, you'll say decision, because every fight he wins is pretty much a round one TKO at any weight class and deep into his UFC career already. And that's how he typically gets it done. But I just have so much faith in the durability of Kevin Holland, specifically the chin of Kevin Holland. So I don't know. It's an interesting matchup. Let me get into all my thoughts here. I'll address the knockout possibility first. Kevin Holland has never officially been knocked out. His one TKO loss was between rounds 4 and 5 to Stephen Thompson. Stephen Thompson was beating him up, but it's not like Kevin Holland went out or anything close. The one time he was legitimately or maybe possibly out cold, I should say, was when he fought Kyle Dawkins. And it's not like he went out cold, but he got hit with a headbutt and it fucked him up. Took him out of the fight. He kept fighting though, kind of woke up and got put in a choke and choked out. The fight was ruled a no contest because the headbutt was clearly what rocked Kevin Holland. But I haven't seen him hurt or rocked like that before or since. That's really it. So I trust the durability of Kevin Holland and especially the chin to stand up to Michal Oleksiejczuk. Michal Oleksiejczuk's been TKO'd technically once, and it was his second loss, I believe, and it was a back mount TKO. It was a grappling loss. It's not like his chin failed him either. He was recently hurt a few times. He was nearly TKO'd, like right on the line, against Michel Pereira, who had him badly hurt with some body shots, but then Michel took his neck and choked him instead. And the fight before that, he was hurt by Chidi Njokuani, who's got a similar build to Kevin Holland. And Chidi cracked him with a head kick and had him staggering. But he bit down on his mouthpiece and decided to go right through Chidi and ended up TKOing him not long after that. But he's never been knocked out either, Michal Oleksiejczuk. Even though we've seen him stagger and whatever, I have to consider him pretty healthy, and I do think he would be able to stand up to the power of Kevin Holland. The one spot where I think either guy can get a TKO is the body shot, especially Oleksiejczuk. Oleksiejczuk was hurt badly with the body shot against Pereira, and we've seen Kevin Holland with that knee taking out Anthony Fluffy Hernandez, a knee to the body way back when. So that's a possibility on paper anyway. And going the other way, Kevin Holland, it's not like he's got a weak body, but he's one of those taller, thinner guys. And I've always had it in my head that taller, thinner guys are weaker to the body. Don't ask me to prove this to you. And I'm asking you not to disprove this because you could probably do so in about 2 fucking minutes. Just let me live in fantasy land here. But with that potential weakness and with Oleksiejczuk's propensity for body shots and the fact that he's fighting a guy who's got distinct height and reach on him and he's going to have a hard time reaching the chin in the first place, I think a body shot would be really on paper, or in my head anyway, the only way either guy gets a TKO finish. And I don't expect it. As for the submission, Oleksiejczuk, he's not submitting Kevin Holland. He's got one submission. It was way back when. And Kevin Holland, even though he's been submitted a few times and it looks like a weakness on paper, the worst guy to submit him as a submission grappler in MMA, the worst guy is Khamzat Chimaev. He's number 3. So I don't think Oleksiejczuk is going to submit him at all. You're going to have him half dead, and he's not going to submit him. As for Oleksiejczuk getting submitted, it's certainly much more of a possibility. In fact, it is my prediction. But Oleksiejczuk, despite one loss, in his first loss of his career, he was triangle choked, but that was over a decade ago. You can dismiss that. Since he's been in the UFC, the only guys that have submitted him are monsters: Jimmy Crute, Ovince St. Preux, Michel Pereira, and Caio Borralho. Those guys, each guy has twice the physicality of Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland's one of those longer, thinner guys, the taller guys. He's not physically imposing. He's not going to go through Oleksiejczuk like Jimmy Crute or Caio Borralho could. Those guys are monsters. And Ovince St. Preux. Kevin Holland, he's maybe more dangerous submission wise than a lot of those guys. I don't even know about that. Those are all very good submission artists. But Kevin Holland's a very good submission artist. The thing is, he's not fighting someone he can run through. He's not going to be slamming Oleksiejczuk to the ground, I think, like he did to Charlie Ontiveros. But at the same time, Oleksiejczuk, despite being the light heavyweight guy, again, he has the physicality of Alex Morono. So it's not like he's going to be going through Kevin Holland like the big light heavyweight. No, he's not even the big middleweight. He's not Marvin Vettori and Derek Brunson, those monsters that were able to bully Kevin Holland. So it's not like he's going to out wrestle Kevin Holland. I mean, he could possibly, but I don't think that's in his DNA anyway. And as for winning a decision, I think either guy could win a decision. I think if Oleksiejczuk is able to take away Kevin Holland's grappling by having a slight physicality advantage, I think on the feet it's a very close fight. Kevin Holland's a cleaner fighter. He's a cleaner striker, long, tall punches, very straight punches, and he carries his power deep into the fight. We've seen him with plenty of late finishes. Santiago Ponzinibbio, Joaquin Buckley, Jeff Neal. Round 3 finishes before he even got to the UFC. He knocked out Jeff Neal. But still, Oleksiejczuk, he's a guy that I think he'll be able to stand up to the power of Kevin Holland. And if you give him a stand-up fight, that guy can go, and he can go hard for 15 minutes. He's a very energetic fighter, and he can mix it up to the body. And I think he'll have to. But I can envision him having a lot of success if these guys are caught in a 15-minute kickboxing bout. And Kevin Holland, he doesn't always have the best defense. He can let himself be cornered and crowded and kind of leaning back and forced to, it just optically, he's not the best. He doesn't always give you the best looks. So my pick is Kevin Holland wins by submission. I think either he hurts Oleksiejczuk or he's able to just get it to the ground. A lot of times it's just catching a kick or a collision or whatever. But if they are on the ground, he's got a distinct advantage. On the feet, I think it's very close. So my pick is Kevin Holland wins by submission. I think if he does get it to the ground, he'll be able to exploit Oleksiejczuk. But the primary bet of all the bets is on Oleksiejczuk winning by decision, because I don't think Kevin Holland has the physicality to impose himself like the guys that have beaten Oleksiejczuk. And on the feet, Kevin Holland can be gotten to as well. And Oleksiejczuk, assuming he's healthy and both guys, neither guy gets hurt and whatever, he's very much in the points battle. So I like Oleksiejczuk to win by decision as my bet, as well as Kevin Holland plus 275 to win by submission. That was my first bet. But really, I think I'm done betting on this one. I'm going to sit back and hope one of my props hit. Really, I hope it's Michal Oleksiejczuk winning by decision, because I'm a dumbass and I put it into parlays and stuff as well. But I think this one is going to be interesting no matter what happens. And if Oleksiejczuk does win a decision, it's going to be exciting. Again, he's not going to be ragdolling Kevin Holland like Marvin Vettori and Derek Brunson. So regardless of how it goes, it's going to be fun. And I couldn't think of a better way to lose money. Like, share, subscribe, all that horse shit. Check out my other videos.